In a Violent Nature. Guys, if you're a slasher fan, without a doubt, go watch this film. This film doesn't star anybody that I really know, but everybody did a pretty good job for the most part. It's basically Friday the 13th, but in the perspective of Jason. So instead of you following all the campers doing all their dumb shit, you follow Jason doing what he's doing. And I actually really appreciate that, because I saw a lot of people complaining, going, oh, it's just kind of like a rip-off, it's this and that, which it definitely is its own thing for sure. But even if it was like kind of like more copy-paste, I'd be fine with that, because Friday the 13th is like my favorite horror genre, or not genre, but my favorite horror franchise. And it's just one of those films that we'll probably never get another one, honestly, because all the right crap and like copyright and this and that, and like for example, I know that A24 was like making like that Crystal Lake like thing, or Blumhouse, whichever one's doing it, and like it's like certain, like you can do stuff with like certain things, but like you can't say Jason, and like, it's just so confusing, and it's the dumbest thing ever, and I hate that they have done that to that franchise, because I love it so much. I would love to see more films in it for sure, but here we are. We might have that. In a Violent Nature is about a killer who killed people about 10 years ago. I'm not going to spoil his whole backstory, but he killed people about 10 years ago, got buried, and now he is returning because he wants a locket that belonged to his mother. And that's the plot. That is it. You follow him mostly walking and stalking and stuff. And once again, that's another thing I saw people complain about. I had no major complaints, because you know, if you want to watch it multiple viewings, like I could definitely see this being like, okay, one time we watched this around Halloween, even though I do think it's a really, really good movie, because I can see those scenes probably getting boring, especially when you know what's going to happen. But what I really want to get into is the effects. For what I know, I don't believe they use CGI. I think mostly everything was practical. And it was nice to see that. Like, you have severed arms, chopped off limbs, people getting impaled, stuff like that, and everything's practical. Now, I have one major complaint with this movie. As much as I loved it, as much as I kind of loved the realism of it, because like people getting stuff chopped off and like blood squirting and stuff like that, I didn't love the reactions to people. There is one kill in this movie where, I'm not going to spoil that either, but it happens to a guy. And, this guy screaming for his life, whatever, and I was like, that's realistic, right? But the other kills in the movie, there's like one, I'm sure everybody's heard of it, that involves yoga. And it's probably the coolest kill I've seen in a movie, like in a while, at least that I can think of. And it's just, like, the whole time the person isn't screaming, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, it didn't throw me off. It's just like, okay, if that's happening to you, I'm freaking out. Like, it's like, uh-oh, I'm stabbed, and then it's just silent. And then we're just going, what's going on? And that's how a lot of the kills were. It's like, uh-oh, something would happen crazy, but, like, it was enough to where a person's alive for most of it, and they just be like, do it to me. Like, they wouldn't, like, react. But outside of that, cinematography's off the chain. I loved everything that they were doing. There's stuff that they do in the third act that I really did love for sure. I love the killer's outfit too. It's like an old firefighter's mask and stuff. He's using like old firefighter tools. Like, it's awesome. I definitely think that this could potentially start a new horror franchise. And even if it doesn't, if this is a one and done, it is a good one and done. I will say that. I think that you should go check this out. I was not a big fan of Late Night with the Devil. Like, I liked it. I just didn't think it was a 10 like everybody did. I thought it was like a good 7.5, 8, which that's still good, but I just didn't think it was like that 10 out of 10, like, whatever. This movie, I think, for me, I enjoyed a lot more. And so with that, I'm giving In a Violent Nature a 9 out of 10. I think it's almost a perfect film for this genre, for the slasher genre. I don't think it defies any new grounds, but it kind of brings you back to the roots of old practical slasher horror, and just giving me like a zombie dude just running around doing what he does. And I really love that, really appreciated that. I thought that all the acting, everything that you saw in it was pretty decent. Like I said, the only thing I really just didn't like was how some of the kills were portrayed, but outside of that, I thought it was pretty gas, and you guys should go watch it for sure. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this film, if you've seen it, if you want to see it. And with that, please like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.